Welcome back to the Tahoe Real Estate Show. I've got a new guest in studio. It's Amanda. Amanda's with the Tahoe Regional Conservation District. Amanda, we brought you in today to talk about living with fire here in the Tahoe Basin, and certainly coming off of the Caldor fire that we had here last year, and it seemed like there was a fire event, right after the 4th of July last year. Tell us a little bit about the efforts for the organization going into this year.
Yeah, so I guess what I really want to emphasize is that as we know that living in Tahoe or owning a home in Tahoe is a really wonderful experience, but it does come with responsibilities. The Caldor fire was a great reminder that preparing for wildfire is something that we owe to ourselves and to our neighbors, and that we all live and play in a fire-prone landscape. So with April rolling around, it's really time for folks to start getting prepared.
Yep. All right, so you talk about defensible space when it comes to fires, and if you're really looking into it when the fire's going, it's probably too late. So as we go into April, what are some of the defensible tips standpoints that you and the organization could help with?
Yeah, so my first recommendation is to request a free defensible space inspection from your local fire protection district. And you can actually visit TahoeLivingWithFire.com and view a map of all of the local fire districts and identify which fire district you belong to and exactly how to contact them. And so when you request an inspection, a fire professional will come to your house and give you really thorough guidance on exactly what you can do to improve your defensible space. And that's really a great first step. But in the meantime, a couple things you can do are focus on your 0 to 5 foot non-combustible zone, also known as the Ember resistant zone. Embers account for 60 to 90% of home loss, and they can blow miles ahead of a flame front. So that 0 to 5 foot zone is really important. So you can do things like clear pine needles, pick up pine cones, and this is including your roof and your deck, and just keep that zone free of anything flammable, like flammable vegetation, ornamental junipers, which fire folks actually call little green gas cans because they're so flammable.
Right.
And then next, you can look at the next 5 to 30 feet from your house, and you want to keep that lean, clean, and green. So that means removing excess dead vegetation, like again, pine needles, pine cones, twigs, all of that, and keeping vegetation well spaced. And so that might mean taking out a shrub or limbing some trees, and anything that you can do to eliminate ladder fuels, which are essentially fuels that are catalysts of spread of fire from the forest floor up into canopies and then to your house.
Right.
And so I think my best tip when thinking about defensible space is think like a fire. Again, remember that embers are the culprit of home loss, so think about where embers would land on your property and how those ignitions could spread to your actual house.
You covered a lot of really important topics, and starting with the evaluation and some of the home retrofit items that maybe you talked about that you could take as preventative steps. People want more information about the Tahoe Resource Conservation District or Living with Fire. What's a good resource?
Yeah, so a great resource is TahoeLivingWithFire.com, and we actually have a bunch of publications on there. We just came out with a wildfire home retrofit guide, and it goes through in great detail every component of the house, how it's vulnerable to embers, and what exactly you can do to address all of those vulnerabilities. And we also have a bunch of other resources about defensible space, landscaping, how to choose the right plants, how to prepare for evacuation, and even resources for renters. We also just came out with a renter's guide to wildfire preparedness that has information about renters insurance and how to evacuate, sign up for emergency alerts, all of that good stuff.
Amanda, thank you for taking time to come in and join us. Remember, it's fire season coming up right around the corner. Stay tuned, more of the Tahoe Real Estate Show coming up right after the break.